G'day everyone, and welcome back for this week's tip. Today we'll be discussing the setup. A little boring to some of you, I know, but trust me when I say that the setup is a big part of the golf swing. Firstly, let's start with stance width. This can vary a little. Basic rule of thumb, to keep it fairly simple for today's lesson, is shoulder width apart for our driver, and it just creeps in a little as we go down in clubs. We never want to get too narrow so we wobble around everywhere. It might feel good and feel like you can move the body in the way we need to, but it'll just add too much movement. Conversely, we get too wide, we lose our rotation. Feels good and strong, just doesn't work. That's why we need that nice balance, the shoulder width for the driver, where we are making quite a strong, aggressive move, and a little narrower for more feel and control on our shorter shots. Secondly, ball position. This will vary according to the club you're playing. For a driver, we'll be on the left heel for right-handed golfers, on the front foot heel, or even almost up to the instep. The reason being, the driver is basically the only shot in golf where we want to catch the ball slightly on the upswing. Hence why we have it so far forward in our golf swing where that club is starting to move up. As we drop down in clubs, the ball comes back accordingly until we get the ball in the middle of our stance for a pitching wedge. Of course, there are times when we will move the ball further back, but they become specialty shots, short game shots. Here we're just talking about the basic full swing. So pitching wedge right in the center, everything just jumps forward from there a little with each club until we basically arrive at the left heel for the driver. The reason we move the ball backwards or forward in our stance depending on club is largely to do with the angle of attack we want to approach that golf ball on. For our wedge shots or shorter irons, we want to be catching that ball first, club then going down and through into the turf, getting some spin, which get a lot of height, ball stop nice and quick for us. So therefore, having that ball back, the lowest point of our arc will be just in front, so therefore we catch that ball descending, hit the turf after the ball, plenty of height and spin. Conversely, we want to catch that driver slightly on the upswing to maximise distance. So therefore, the ball is just in front of the lowest point of our golf swing, so from here on up, that club is moving slightly up, bang, hit a nice launch drive with minimal spin. If we were to play the driver too far back in our stance, we'll catch it descending like we would with the wedge, which results in the classic popped up sky shot. Conversely, we start playing our short irons too far forward, we find ourselves catching the ball thin all the time or sliding our body forward to compensate for that bad ball position, which then produces its own issues. So the ball position in our setup is very, very important. Something that's overlooked by many players but can make a massive difference to your game. Where we have our hands positioned in relation to the club head is dictated more by the position of the ball according to what club we're playing rather than actually where we put the hands. So what we're basically after is the butt of the grip pointing just left of our belly button. Now, if we position that way and we're playing a wedge shot where the ball's in the middle of our feet, our hands will appear to be well ahead of that ball. Now, if we were to play that ball up the front for a driver, still pointing that club in the same place, our hands are level with the ball, maybe even slightly behind. So really our hand position hasn't changed, our ball position makes it appear to have changed. And that's a key factor in getting consistent. We're not having to change something else in our setup or golf swing. The less things we have to change or move in the golf swing, the more consistent we become and the better golf we play. Next are our body angles. Want to set up over the ball in a poised and ready position. So by that, what I mean is, if we were to set up here and ready for someone to come and tackle us or to push us, we'd be poised and athletic and ready to take that move. So legs bent a little, unhinged, not too much, but certainly not rigid straight, terrible. So unhinge the legs a little. Then from the waist, want to bend over, keeping our back fairly straight, shoulders back, and just let our arms hang. So we get this nice, what I like to think of it as an athletic position. So if someone was to push me from any direction, my weight centered over my feet, evenly balanced 50-50 between each foot, and someone can push me around and I can maintain my posture, hold my position. Next, we change around angles here. It's body alignment. This is probably the most overlooked item I see in the setup checklist amongst club golfers. Feet, knees, hips, shoulders should all be square and parallel to our target line. Standing here, all lined up the same, ready in a neutral position to make our move back. Quite often we'll see golfers aiming right with their feet, left with the shoulders, or any combination of those, which results in the club being taken back incorrectly and having to make a compensation move on the way down to hit a good shot. Sure, we can still hit good shots from some of these positions, but we become less consistent. What we're after is some really good angles in our setup, and by that what I mean is some nice straight lines, almost stick figure like, if we can. We don't want to be soft and rounded and weak at address. Some good strong lines, and from a good position here, where our arms hang is where we grip the club. So to have the ball in relation to our feet this way is as simple as setting up properly, letting our arms hang from the shoulders and take our grip. I hope these few setup tips have helped you a little, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop me a message on Facebook, or better yet, give us a call at the Pro Shop at Blackheath Golf and Community Club, and be happy to talk to you. Thank you. And before I go, I'd just like to say that if you haven't been up here to have a game at our beautiful course in the Blue Mountains, now's the time. The colours of autumn are still out, the course is in sensational condition, so don't hesitate to give us a call in the Pro Shop, jump on the website and send us an email, and get a few mates together and get up here for a game. You'll have a great weekend.